Hi, Billy Goodnick at the Santa Barbara Botanic Garden at the foot of the San Ynez Mountains. Beautiful views. It's just gorgeous today after the storms. I'm here talking to Alejandro Lemus, who's the horticultural educator here at the garden. I'm learning stuff. You can learn stuff too. This topic is lawn substitutes and grassy, meadowy types of plants. You want to kind of start with what I call a base coat, or if you're into painting, the gesso you put on the canvas. And our first one is, you want to grab that from me?
So
this is?
We have Carex praegracillus, or our slender sedge. It's one of our native sedges here in California. People really
Would you distinguish that sedge isn't grass, even though it looks like it?
It's not a grass, even though it does appear to look like a grass. The difference here is that sedges have edges. So sometimes when you run your hand across these blades, these leaf blades, these tend to be serrated. So that's the difference between our sedges and our grasses. Here in California, the sedge actually makes a really nice ground cover. So if you're looking to remove that artificial turf and replace with a native plant, definitely recommend Carex praegracillus. Here in Santa Barbara, it can take anywhere from full sun to even shady conditions. So it's a very adaptable grass, or sedge.
So you've got like a base coat of the Carex, and what are some other things we can do to keep from it looking like a monoculture?
Yeah, there's definitely some other plants that you can add if you're looking to create that meadow look or just create a ground cover in general. Another one of our favorites here in the nursery are any kind of our native fescues. So this one here is Tomales Bay Idaho fescue. Despite the name, it is still native to California. This one has more blue-green foliage, stays really low to the ground, and also spreads similar to how the Carex spreads to cover an area. The one consideration to have with this fescue is planting it in part shade. Fescues can't tolerate a whole lot of sun, so I would probably recommend keeping it out of harsh afternoon sun.
Gotcha.
But it's a great plant to achieve that meadow look. It's dog friendly and it creates a beautiful look.
It'll take your dog out for a walk. And
Yeah, it'll do all that and more. Yeah.
Now what do we got?
Let's see, what else are we dealing with here? So this one is our Juncus, specifically Juncus patens Will Fleming. Again, although it looks like a grass, it's not quite a grass. It's a rush. We like to say that rushes are round. That's the shape of their hollow or
Sedges
their stem.
have edges, rushes are round.
Sedges have edges, rushes are round, and that's the cycle
we're not
of
rhyme
life.
With grass.
Yeah,
okay.
we'll think of grasses. Grasses have class.
Oh,
there you go.
Okay.
No, not to take away from the other plants.
Okay.
But this one here is our native rush. It's really great if you have like a water garden or you have areas of your garden that are naturally damp or accumulate water. The rush is a great one. It does spread slowly. The more space and more access to moisture it has. What I really like about this plant is how vertical it looks like. So it's a really great addition to a rain garden. It does produce seed heads that are attractive to wildlife, stays green year round, so really modern native plant here.
And if you're doing any type of water garden or dry creek or that sort of thing for permeability in your garden, these just look like they belong near water because they do.
They do, yeah, that's the nature of them.
Okay, this is the big guy in the crew.
This is my favorite. I love all of them, but I'm a little biased to this one. This one here is our Muhlenbergia regans, or our native deer grass. Absolutely stalwart native plant, can take full sun, gets to be about 3 to 4 feet tall with the attractive seed heads that it produces, just as wide. If you're looking to replace your Mexican feathergrass or pampas grass, looking for a native alternative, definitely recommend the deer grass. Really drought tolerant once it's established. So after that first year of watering it deeply and infrequently, you can really let this plant go dry for the rest of its life, only relying on annual rainfall, and it's a happy camper.
Is this one that we need to cut back to the ground once in a while?
Yes, so as with all of our native plants, some of our native grasses do require some cutting back. Something like a deer grass, this one right here, may benefit from cutting it back way to the ground every 3 to 4 years, just to prevent too much accumulation of the dry material. And in fact, it helps rejuvenate the plant. So after that cutback, you're gonna get a nice green, lush deer grass again.
So you can create a meadow and then have a few kind of sculptural pieces coming up out of it and just create different textures, but stay with that idea of these thin blade-like leaves, whether it's a grass or a sedge or a rush or a reed or those sorts of things. It's just a really nice soft look, and a lot of these move nicely in the breeze. So if you're in a windy area and you want to see some of these swaying in the breeze, they're quite delightful. One other thing you can do is it doesn't have to be a monoculture. You can put in plants like yarrow or some of these other flowering plants that will intermix with it, and it just becomes kind of a naturalized looking meadow. I'm at the Santa Barbara Botanic Garden. Come on up. There's 2 plant sales every year. There's people here to help you pick out the right plants for the right place, and go native.